Hi, thank you so much for joining me in this video.
The point is,
This is Manigandan Sundaresan.
like we used to have faculty members support. Some faculty members were very supportive. Some faculty members were non-supportive. Some faculty members were punishing us. Some faculty members were very mean to us. But there were a couple of faculty members who the girl or the boy is not able to answer. You see, there's a difference between willingness and ability. You're willing, but you are not having the ability to answer. Now, I asked you a question.
As you could see, the trainer is now giving the cognitive behavior therapy for getting the fear out of the students, and the students are into the therapy. And after this, all the students come to the stage and they are standing and they are also answering the questions, which clearly is a proper indication that they can come to the stage and speak with all the boldness and various knowledge. After that, all these people have been divided into various teams. 3 or 4 classes combined together. So we made a point to have a heterogeneous team, and every single person has been having a new person as a teammate, and that was ensured.
Team number 2, first person. Team number 2, second person.
You see, when you are putting these people into various teams, and when you give this kind of object-oriented enterprise resource planning activity, these people have not seen this in any of their classrooms. But in this training, if they are seeing these resource-based activity and the chance of preparing and noting down and coming up with various insights of their knowledge with the kind of properties that were given, you see, you can really have the students come up with the best potential. This is what is the most important paradigm of education system. Students should be given the chance to think. Students should be given the chance to make their own mind being put into the upfront. And students should be given the chance to interact with each other. This form of social interaction amongst the team members really makes each and every person understand where they actually stand and what is the real kind of caliber within them. This is the total training time. Was almost about 2 days, and this is only the day 1, and the team talk time was given for about 30 to 35 minutes, and all these team members were planning according to the nature of the activity that was given to them. And in between, I had to make some corrections in their planning system and also give specific guidance as and when it was required. The students were really smart. They had their own ways of thinking and stimulative thinking, and when the brains were put together, the synergy was automatically taking place, and they were finding it cool to interact with the other people. They were having the look at the properties, and they were given the time for preparation, they were given the guidance, and they were also given the rehearsal time. Now the activity started performing, and the first team is performing on stage while the other people are having a good look at what the first team is doing. And every single team is supposed to make a proper kind of a portfolio and also a model which will reflect their team planning. And in between, the trainer had to give a lot of inducing pep talk so that they can come up with the best. Communication was important. You see, you have a plan on paper, and bringing the paper plan into existence is not easy.
But they had an execution gap, but we will see their explanation. Please understand, even if your design is a poor design, you can make it up in the explanation. The design தப்பாதுனாலும் explanation பண்ணும்போது நீங்க அதை கரெக்டாக explain பண்ணீங்கன்னா for is a proper.
So that's where a big challenge was lying.
This particular setup from the point of view of a hockey player. So
every single person had a chance from the team to explain. And here what the trainer is emphasizing is make this as a wonderful platform to speak to your juniors, speak to your seniors. There are professors in this particular hall, and speak to the professors and speak in front of them by making sure that you prove to them that you have got real tinge of potential.
The real objective of this particular act. So English பேச முடியலனா தமிழ்ல பேசுங்க, மலையாளத்துல பேசுங்க. I was lying, I know Malayalam. So மலையாளத்துல பேசுங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் இங்கிலீஷ்ல கூட நீங்க translate பண்ணி பேசு.
And a lot of appreciation was given to the people who spoke, and the audience were also very active. In the interim, the entire team was given a lot of pep talk, and also some ideas were gathered from them, and the marks and evaluation parameters were also put into visible. This is the second team, and when the second team was doing, again the emphasis was given to the other people how the mistakes can be corrected and how the expedition can be done. So this particular team came up with a lot of insights, and they wanted to stand different than the previous couple of teams, and they gave up a model, and they were asking the audience as to what they thought about the model.
So, the team might get bonus. எந்திரிங்க இத முதல்லயே செஞ்சிருக்கோம்.
I was asking them to stand up and come to the front and have a look at the model and then give their opinions.
Very big arena, and they have
And when the time was given to them, a couple of students in this particular team gave a beautiful explanation about why this model has been created in front of the people. You see, can you relate? While you're watching this video, I want you to relate that this kind of a training system will bring the best potential from the students when they are into their chosen occupation. By answering the questions, and when the trainer is pulling the leg, correcting the mistakes, and trying to be at the best shape possible, everything was expected from the students, and time to time some leadership paradigms were also instructed to the students, and the trainer had been very, very careful in terms of making the people feel special, and also the trainer had also been very careful in terms of giving the support to the people who were really finding this speaking in front of the people as a big challenge. So as time went on, team by team, every single person was able to come up with their potential, and the other people who were sitting under the dais, and they were fuming with a lot of uncertainties. They don't really know as to how they could do. This team was really doing so well, and the other teams were really having that kind of pressure. Even after finishing, they didn't stop. They wanted to give special elements of information from their preparation, and the team was really glorifying with a lot of color. I was also asking some questions based on the model, and those people were really coming up with a lot of answers. You see, you might be wondering how soft skills training can be conducted. The reason why I'm making all this video is I just want to make all you people understand how soft skills training should really be done. These people are the youngsters of 21st century. Their brain works in a different model, and they have a lot of new forms of thinking pattern and paradigms that are going on into their subconscious mind, and that has to be stimulated. And I use this kind of training platform to stimulate that new thinking model of these youngsters.
Stephen Covey ஒரு bookல சொல்லிருப்பாரு, sharpen the saw by looking at the other woodcutter னு சொல்லி. இந்த மாதிரி you can sharpen your saw before you come. Tiny cosmetic changes or improvisations பண்றதா இருந்துச்சுன்னா நீங்க பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
How they can sharpen their saw and all that. You see, now I'm just giving the marks, and these people are listening to the marks, and I have set my own parameters of criteria, and I have given the marks for the people, and the people without fail stood appreciating the others who have been doing so well. I have made it as a dictum that a participant should appreciate the participant as much as he or she could. And the teams which came forward after that, they had the pressure, of course. I did mention that earlier, but they did fair amount of justice for their own performance. It was a beautiful atmosphere of having about 7 or 8 teams coming up with 7 or 8 distinctive, innovative, creative model. I was very satisfied after this training, I should frankly admit to you. And the questioning session really made the people come up with a different tactical way of thinking. And this is how the training went. This was only day 1, and people were trying to break their differences. There were first year students, second year students, and towards the end, we had a discussion as to what was the learning, and this gentleman is trying to explain what he learned from that day's training. Then after receiving the learning insights from a couple of other people, we came up to the last line of speaking about communication skills, which I would explain in the next video. My next video will come up with how communication skills can be enhanced, because I explained that to these individuals. And after that, we finished up with a promise, and also having a promise of meeting them in the day number 2, which is the subsequent day. That was a wonderful kind of a training. The students were really doing a great job in this kind of training. Ultimately, when I put a video, it means I'm very, very satisfied about the training. These are some job satisfaction measures. When I'm putting a video on a training, it means that training has given me enormous job satisfaction. So, this is how the training went on, and then we parted ways for the day. We made a pledge that we will be using all the skills that were learned in that particular training day, and we finished the training. Thank you so much for spending your 11 minutes along with me, and I'll be coming up with my next video. This is Manikandan Sundaresan, resting the case. See you soon.